Are you really a rapper?
Yes. I am definitely a rapper. I am a recording artist as well. I record music, I write music, and I feel music, and music has saved my life in many ways. I'm evolving with music. I believe we were created to evolve. And at this point, I feel like my music's evolving. I'm loving instruments. I'm loving all kinds of stuff, and I'm loving to work in unison with other people that have real heart for music. So that sums that up.
What, how would you put it, made you want to make music?
What made me want to make music?
What got you into liking music? Wanting to write
I remember
music?
when I was a kid, I'm talking 3 years old, I remember hearing the song come on the radio, or a tape. My mom had given me a tape. Here's a tape, go check that out. So I popped it in the thing, and all of a sudden that song, la 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 bamba, cotista da mostra tita. But it was just like, it just had sound, and I was like, wow, it affected my mood and how I felt. It affected me emotionally. And that's strange that was like the first song that's ever hit my receptors. And I liked it, And since then, it's evolved, I started listening to Tupac, and I started listening, and I was like, wow, man, these guys got some good music, these guys got some talent, and I love music, I can feel it, like, it's in my heart. Music's for me, music's for everybody. I love music, that's what it's all about for me. I love the music, I do it for the music, not for no fame, not for no fortune, I never have, I never will, I do it for the music. I mean, one day I could be getting paid a large amount of money for the music I make, especially with the new stuff that's coming. But I don't do it for that in specific. I do it because the music makes me feel terrific. You know what I mean?
Did you grow up in Superior, Wisconsin?
Yeah, I did grow up in Superior, Wisconsin. Real rough life. I grew up actually in Park Place, north side of town and stuff like that. There was a lot of gang banging. Back then in the early 90s, you had bikers and you had junkies out there with their needles everywhere, and you had fucking people getting beat up with baseball bats, and I mean, this shit was really, it was intense. It was definitely intense, and it was scary. But I definitely made it out of that hellhole, and then I went to the next stage, so, as far as growing up in Superior, I used to sell drugs, I used to sell weed. And I realized that, the average weed dealer would only make minimum wage because I was a smoker. I'd end up smoking all the shit, So, but then I quit weed and I was put on probation. I went to Lincoln Hills and all this other shit. There's just so much shit. But what really gets scary is I've always had an understanding that drugs are dangerous and drugs are not to be fucked with. And I understood it and I knew it. But when I was drinking, I was raised by an alcoholic. So maybe that taught me that, hey man, when you have a problem, you crack open that cold beer. Well, I decided to get a little screwed up the specific weekend, and I got drunk on the specific weekend. And what had happened here in Superior, Wisconsin, which is right over the bridge from Duluth, Minnesota, kind of associates with Minneapolis. But what had happened is once I got drunk and I took my first Loratab pill, I was off to the races. And it doesn't have to happen overnight with addiction. You see, this is how cunning, baffling, and powerful it is. I had this pill and I felt great. Plus I had a buzz from the beer that I love to drink. I felt great. But what had happened was shit went down the toilet real quick, because a few months later, a friend's mom's got them, and next thing you know, I'm buying them. And I'm buying them. Before you know it, years go by. I hurt a lot of people in my family. I hurt myself. I could have probably literally been in at least a $250,000 house. I could have had my education. I could have had more records done. A lot of things. The pills robbed me of a lot of stuff. And I went to treatment, and I successfully completed treatment. And after a program where I stayed in a halfway house, where then I got a job. And when I graduated, I was sitting there and I made a song over at my buddy Mike White's, and I brought it over to my counselor, and I wanted to show him, and I played the song for my counselor, and it brought him to tears, because I said, we all have a treasure, and I believe that drugs buried my treasure further, and now I feel like I can kind of let it out, you know what I mean? But along the addiction, I put 19 close friends in the ground. I put my mother in the ground. I put my father in the ground. I lost a child. I lost my sanity, and I ended up in Miller Dewan, where they had to try to find medications so I could not go emotionally crazy. I did have psychosis where your internal thoughts were affecting external reality, and when you threw the drugs on top of it, it got fucking crazy. But that's why I'm Painkilla, and actually Painkilla came before I ever even heard about drugs. You know, me and C Silence were laying on the floor, and he sees Silence. I'm like, man, I need a name, man. What about Painkilla? Just as a joke, man. I was like, Painkilla, don't even roll off the tongue that right, you know. Like lately, I'm thinking about changing it just to The Pain, just like The Rock. You know, it's The Pain. You know, I've been through a lot of pain, and you know, and it's something that I don't want people to feel pain. So I want to make my music more comforting and stuff like that. But hey, sometimes the real shit's got to come out too, though. But the thing is I love music, and that's kind of sums it up in Souptown for me. Life's been hell. I did get an opportunity though to go out to Atlanta, Georgia. I got some connections out there. I was in the dungeon where Outkast be doing their recording and stuff, and met a lot of people. Met Jazzy Faye. I have his phone number. He's the one who started Too Short. I've met Haystack before in Minneapolis and stuff like that, and he told me he gave me 120% on that song. Is It Justified? That finally my boy Lavish is directing. That finally put it out where people could see Is It Justified. Now I got people calling me at 3 in the morning saying, hey man, I need to go to treatment, can you help me? I mean, it's really crazy, and it causes a lot of pressure because I'm under a lot of pressure. And as a matter of fact, I'm going through a breakup myself, you know. And that's really hard and difficult because every time I experience any kind of loss in my life at all, it seems like I connect it to all the loss that I've had, and it can really put me into a deep state of mind of life or death. And but that's kind of where Souptown brought me, and I brought myself. You know, we all make our own decisions and stuff. But learned behavior can affect that. But do I fucking rap? Hell yeah, I rap, and I love to rap, and this is where I grew up.
I need to run and don't look back. I need to go and don't come back. I need to run and don't look back. I need to go and don't come back. Self-talk, motivation, yeah, I'm shooting from the hip. And all that bullshit, I'm still trying to come to grip. So I'm screaming to my Lord, yeah, I'm in distress. I found something that's broken, and it's in my chest. I'm so confused, I don't know if I'd fight or flight. I lost my mind, but my spirit kept burning bright. I just didn't know I had it coping, so I really used a new spectrum on life, a new point of view. Here I come, rising out the gates of hell. A dedication to all those who thought I failed. It's time to rise up, it's time to rise out. Forgive myself and focus and find a new road. Can't tell me nothing about fake cats and acting hard. Can't tell me nothing about being dealt some fucked up cards. Can't tell me nothing about acceptance and coming to terms. Can't tell me shit about standing my ground and being firm. But I need to run and don't look back. I need to go and don't come back. I need to run and don't look back. I need to go and come back. Run, child. Oh, I need you to run, child.
the project is hopeless. He watches his idols and nonchalantly recitals the dope games he dopest. His conscience is frozen, his logic is open. It's been some time, now 10 years passing a spot. Sometimes I feel like am I ready just to lay down and die. Get it over with real quick. Don't think I can deal with it. Always searching, but never finding. Looking for you keeps me surviving. Gotta keep my head and keep it strong. That's the belly blood. It's in my veins. It kept us alive and hanging on. We were born survivors, so let's say soldiers. We made a promise that death can take us. Some time may hold us, but nothing can break us apart. Though sometimes it may seem you wanna quit and give up, but finding you is one of my dreams. Ain't never gonna give up. No, ain't never gonna give up. No, one child, one child, one child, one child.
I need you to run, and don't look back. I need you to go, and don't come back. I need you to run, and don't look back. I need you to go, and don't come back.
Still turn out the same that it is right now, would you change anything in that?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Okay, your life in Soup Town, what you talked about in the last question. If you could go back and change anything, but your life career would still turn out the same, would you change anything?
I would change one thing. I mean, actually, I don't want to change anything. I wouldn't have picked up that first pill. You know what I mean? But you know what? I did. I can't change that. And now it made me who I am today. You know, I've been under a lot of pain. I've been under so much shit that a lot of people would collapse that have walked through my shoes from the pain. But then there's people out there that suffered way more, and I pray for them. So, but one of the best things I did though, now that we're here and it's the present, see, the past is like depression. If you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you have anxiety. The present is called the present because it's a gift. And gift stands for God is forever there. I believe God is with us right now at this interview. And so basically what I would like to touch base on is recovery. When I went to treatment and got out of treatment, it gave me a whole new spectrum on life. You know, a whole new attitude, a whole new way of thinking. Because see, drugs and alcohol for alcoholics and addicts are the major problem. The ultimate problem is us, the thinking upstairs, the person that's using. You know, what is making their minds go get this shit, you know? It really is a mind over matter thing. It doesn't mean you're weak-minded if you're an addict or an alcoholic. What it does mean is you got the fight of your life on your hands. But now I'm happily, I go to AA. I got a lot of good friends. I'm meeting new people. A lot of girls are starting to hit me up now too. It's just real nice, you know. I'm just trying to enjoy life. But yeah, sorry if I go all over the place. That's just how my mind is. You hear me when I rap, I'm all over the place. But yeah. So what would your next question be?
How are you going to further your career? Are you going to get big to be on YouTube and everywhere else?
That's a good question. As a matter of fact, yes, we are going to further their career. Do I have faith in that? Yes. Does my boy Lavish have faith in that? Yes. He's doing video documentary stuff. I'm working hand in hand with QRA Productions. I grew up with him. His name is Mike Adelson. He also known as Bishop in Little Queen, Quinetta the Q. And I did a collab called Run Child with her. Definitely, I mean, I'm moving forward as we speak. It's just a process, and it's going to take time and patience. But for those who stuck around, it will pay off. And it pays off even without the money. It pays off because we have something good to do here. Yeah, so basically it comes down to the music's going to take off. I have connections all the way in Atlanta, Georgia. I was in Outkast studio rapping. I did a collaboration with Four Eyes. He's in the industry. Cool with Ludacris. I went to Convict Records. I went to Upstairs Studios, but most of all, I went to the Dungeon. I even met Big Boy. I met Jazzy Faye, where I got his number and stuff like that. I definitely got what it takes to go all the way if I put my recovery first. If I put my recovery first, then my mind and my spirit is in line with God's plan. and that's what it is, you know. That's what it is right now. So yeah, the music's gonna take off, but my boy Lavish right now is helping me. My boy Lavish right now at this point is helping me get this put together to the point that we can have CDs available. I got 6 unreleased CDs. We want CDs available. We want all kinds of stuff. So basically that's what it comes down to. Be on the lookout because we're coming, you know. And what was your name?
Ashley.
Ashley. Nice to meet you, Ashley.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Stevie J, also known as The Pain.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
Yeah, it's true, there ain't no looking back. I guess I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. Make it a rap and make it dope. Watch the money pile up, cause I'll be damned if I'm broke. Leaving everything behind, everything I ever knew. Too many different factors in my life to review. The lights just got cut, the rent is overdue. I gotta keep fighting, man, I gotta make moves. So I hit the streets with another sale. Anything to make a dollar in this living hell. Now breaking bond, sitting in the county jail. Call my boy Collect. Hey, can you both fail? Nah, we can't keep doing this. One of the reasons why we on some new shit. Boy, don't you fail me. One of the things my mama used to tell me.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
Yeah, he's on the streets, acting real tough. Gang banging, it's time to put them hands up. Blow for blow, and here comes the handcuffs. Not to mention court costs and some other stuff in letters. Going to the prison you're in, and you're reading them off and getting tats on your skin. And your girl back at home, she ain't got money to send. While you crying to your cellmate and want to end. Hey, it's funny how you feeling inside, but if it wasn't for the pain, you wouldn't have no drive. Now you're being released, just waiting on your ride. But for some reason, you ain't used to the outside. Damn, now you a statistic, but in your heart, you feeling optimistic. Yeah, and you stuck on parole, and if your ass mess up, you know where you gon' go. But hey,
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
urgency, it's an emergency. I need somebody's help urgently. Urgently, come at the perfect speed. Like Palace with the purple weed. It's kinda crazy in this life how we influence. And when it goes wrong, it holds us back from what we could be doing. I play hard for the team, work hard for the dream. And sometimes ain't life it what it seems. Give it all that I am and all that I'm not. Apply some principles and watch them blow up the spot. The money starts coming and so do the girls. But you recovering, boy, and you scared of the world. You ain't scared of the world, you just changing your mind. So be good to yourself and take it a day at a time. Cause if you ain't growing, then you're dying. I suggest you keep fighting and trying, and don't ever give up.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You
And I love music. I can feel it, like it's in my heart. Music's for me. Music's for everybody. I love music. That's what it's all about for me. I love the music. I do it for the music. Not for no fame, not for no fortune. I never have, I never will. I do it for the music. I mean, one day I could be getting paid a large amount of money for the music I make, especially with the new stuff that's coming.